As we sit here right now, too, one of the things that's really struck me in sort of preparing for today, aside from all the things we've talked about, and your love of country, your new country, your love of family, is you have a real strong heart for Vietnam veterans.
I do. Oh my goodness. So
And, my dad did 2 tours in Vietnam, 2 very difficult tours.
yeah,
I don't know if you ever met my dad or not, but
I did not.
he would have liked to heard your story.
Oh,
But tell me about
okay.
your
So
heart for
this
vets.
all started in high school. The same friend that prayed for me has a dad that served in Vietnam,
Okay.
and for a long time, I knew he had a difficult time, still struggling. And the first time I met him, I went to him and thanked him for his service. And I watched him gotten so emotional, and he started crying, and we hugged, and Phil, he thought that I hate him.
Mm.
And that just broke my heart. He really thought that I hated him. And I said, how can I hate you? You were just a young man, leaving your country, leaving your family, leaving the comfort of America to go fight for people you don't know because you believe that everybody deserves to be free. No, I don't hate you. And that moment has stayed with me for so long. And that's just that helped embolden me to walk up to strangers, Vietnam veterans now that you see them, walking.
Wearing their hat.
Wear the hat, so
yeah.
you knew they're Vietnam veterans. And I just walk up to them, and I just looked at them, and I just want to thank them for all that they tried to do for the Vietnamese people. And I watched every single one of them just broke down. And I knew then that all the things I went through life, God has a purpose and a plan for me. And that's my ministry, is to serve the Vietnam veterans, because I knew they didn't come home to a very grateful nation. And that a lot of them, most of them probably never heard of a Vietnamese person thanking them for what they tried to do.
No kidding. A lot of them didn't hear about Americans thanking them for what they did.
I know. And I didn't know about the how they were treated until I hear stories from them.
Yeah.
Most of them was like spit on. Most of them were,
And my dad told that story about his own experience.
food thrown at them and accused them of being baby murderers. I had one veteran told me that he was injured in Vietnam, and he came back, and he were received so badly that he tells people that his injury was motorcycle accident. Wow. And he hid all of his time in Vietnam. And the burden that they had carried for so many years, being called a bad guy, my heart breaks for them. And I just felt like they all need to hear how appreciative they are.
Welcome home.
And welcome them home. I think Vietnam veterans are a group of veterans that are so cohesive, because when they came home, only their brothers can understand what all they went through. And their brothers are the only one that they shared what they've been through with. I have so many wives and daughters of Vietnam veterans that comes up to me and said, my husband have never talked about his time in Vietnam until he met you.
So thank you, by the way. What practically speaking is your ministry besides having that heart for them and extending that grace to them whenever you see them? And I know you wrote a book, but I've seen also you speak at veterans groups all the time.
I do.
When you say this is your ministry, is there a practical application to your ministry? Is there a goal?
To reach as many Vietnam veterans and thank them for what they did. Try to do as much as possible. And in the meantime, also the testimony how God just in my life, throughout my life, I see God's hands now and the purpose that He has for every one of us. He has a purpose and plans for every one of us.
Yeah.
And I really believe that my purpose in life is to reach out to Vietnam veterans. And I speak to kids group and help them to realize what a great country this is. I mean,
That's huge.
they are, I tell them, I said, look, guys, y'all already won the lottery.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're born
virtue of
in
where you live.
America, you already won the lottery. Everybody want what you have. Everybody want what you have. You are living in the greatest country on earth. And I hope that if just one kid at least listen to what I had to say and really appreciate this country, I mean, I just felt like, that's my duty.
Well, I wish more Americans would take that same attitude. I mean, and not that we don't, but I mean, I just think that you bring a perspective on it that is so real because you've seen the other side. What Jeremiah 29:11. I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans not to harm you, but to prosper you, plans to give you a future and a hope. And I think I'll just go ahead and say it. I think you pretty much embody that verse.